Hello. I hope this is coming through okay. Let me know if anything isn't working as it should. Do let me know who's there. It's always really nice to have a sense of who's actually there, so I don't feel as if I'm just sitting here on my own. Grand. Let's get started. So have a little shuggle, have a little shake, let your body settle and let your weight anchor down into the ground. I'm going to stand, and as usual, standing or sitting, whatever is best for you. If you're able to stand, it's quite good to stand for a wee while. If you're much more comfortable sitting and your body's going to be more relaxed sitting, then do what's most comfortable for you. So we're going to start by just grounding, making our contact with the ground. Really important when we're singing. I'm going to kick off my shoes. I invite you to do the same. Totally up to you, of course, but just so you can really feel that connection with the ground below, the ground that supports us, that nourishes us, the good earth beneath us. So just picking up the toes, spreading them out a little, and replacing them on the floor, and just swaying very gently backwards and forwards, so we can really feel that connection with the ground, and imagining roots growing out of every little bit of your feet, growing down into the ground, lovely and strong, stretching down, really holding you, but also flexible, so swaying a little from side to side, but keeping the feet in contact with the ground below. Just checking. Hi Senga, great, thank you for the feedback. And then as we come to standing, just lifting the toes again, seeing if you can stretch them out, and then placing them one by one. So we start with placing the big toes, then the next toe, and the third toe, fourth toe, and the last toe. It's quite hard to do them separately, but just as best you can. And then as we breathe out, just imagining those roots really anchoring down, growing down through the floor, through the earth, through the foundations of your house or flat, whatever's below your house or flat, down through the bedrock, going all the way down to the centre of the earth. And then as we let the air in, releasing from the belly and imagining the energy coming up through those roots, up through your feet, up through the lower leg, the upper leg, the hips, up through the torso, up the neck, and you can imagine branches bursting out of the head. So we're standing here as a tree. So as we breathe out, roots going down, and as we let the air in, seeing if we can lengthen slightly. You might want to imagine a cord coming out the crown of the head, or the branches, the sap rising and the branches bursting out. In yoga, in the tree pose, you bring your arms out like this, from here, up above your head, and then there. So doing whatever helps you to just anchor down to the ground. And then we're going to imagine we're climbing our rope ladder up to the clouds to find the silver lining. So we're reaching up one side of the body. It's quite an easy climb. And then the other side. So feeling that stretch, creating a bit of space between the ribs there, so the breath has more space. So continuing to reach up as much as is comfy on each side, and you're nearly there. 2 more rungs to go. Very exciting. And we've got there. We have the silver lining, and we're bringing it back down, and we're treating it like a very delicate bubble that needs it's very soft. So just seeing if you can turn it from side to side, this imaginary silver lining bubble. Keeping the shoulders nice and down, checking in with the shoulders. And then just moving it a little more from side to side. And softening all the way. This is the sort of exercise that's often done in Qigong. So seeing if you can soften through these very gentle movements. Soften, soften, soften. Checking in with the shoulders, that they're not creeping up towards the ears. Seeing if we can soften the muscles a little more, softening right down to the bones. And then holding the bubble here in front of us, taking it down to by the pelvic area, and then very gently lifting it up to about eye level, and then bringing it down again very gently and softly. And just thinking soft, soften, soften, soften. The only purpose of this is to see if we can soften and then soften a wee bit more. It's nothing to strive for, nothing that we get right or wrong. It's just to be aware of how the body's feeling and see if we can soften. And then we'll do one more, bringing it up to eye level. And then we bring one hand on top of the other again and just gently squeeze our bubble together. And then giving our hands a bit of a rub. Bring them up to the face, getting into that jaw muscle. Really giving it a good squidge, getting into the muscle. You can't overdo this when you're about to start singing. So if you feel like doing this every day, it's very good for your face and jaw. It's to wake it up. And let's just give our neck a little bit of attention as well. So doing whatever feels nice for the neck. Maybe just bringing the knuckles very gently down. Again, just encouraging the neck to soften. Lovely. And while we're on our face, let's wake our tongue up a little bit as well. So we're going to do the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. And then looking super attractive with the tongue as far down to the chin as you can. We're going to say the same thing. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. And the important thing is to give the tongue a stretch rather than to articulate cleanly. And then we try again as normal. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, the tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips. And notice if it feels a little bit easier the next time because you've had given your tongue a wee bit of a stretch. Hi Joan, nice to see you as well. Okay. So let's shake ourselves out a little bit. So shaking our hands that way, shaking that way, shaking the belly and the bum. Shake one leg, shake the other leg. And shake the jaw a wee bit. And shoulders up to ears and down with a bit of a sigh. And let's have a bit of a yawn while we're at it, stretching our hands out. And as we yawn, see if we can really feel that widening in the throat. So let's do that once more. Lovely. So going on with our theme of gardens, let's do a few animal creatures. There seem to be a lot of butterflies around at the moment. So let's get our butterfly arms going. Stretching up, super graceful. And just feel that softness and grace of a butterfly. So bring our arms up and down. And then let's see if we can do a little bit of a kind of caterpillar. So you can either do this standing or sitting. I'm going to sit down because I think it's slightly easier, but totally up to you. You can also do it standing. So we are going to, first of all, bring our chin to the chest and round the back a little. Imagine you're just beginning to crawl as a caterpillar. And then really exaggerating the hollow in the back and bringing the neck and head up a little bit, just as much as is comfy. In yoga, these sorts of movements are called cat, and this is the cow. Have I got them the wrong way around? Cat and cow, anyway. One, you arch the back a little. That's very good for the back. There we go. And let us move on into our breath. So I'm going to stand again. So going to our usual rope exercise with a loose fist around the belly button. And before we do that, let's just check in that we're not creating unnecessary tension in our larynx here and in our neck. So we're going to breathe out over 4 to she, and then do a big forced inhale, and just notice how it feels here. So after 2, 1, 2. She, 2, 3, 4. I could certainly really feel it there. So we're going to do it again, and this time leading from the belly. Have one hand on the belly and see if we can keep this as soft as possible as we let the air drop in over 4. So out, exhaling for 4 to she, and then letting the air drop in from there to 4. Over a count of 4, leading from the belly. So feel the belly move with this hand that's resting on the belly. So after 2, 1, 2. She, 2, 3, 4. Release from the belly. 2, 3, 4. And most of the movement you should be feeling down there. Hopefully very little here. And just notice how different that possibly was from the forced inhale before. So we're going to do that a few more times. We're going to keep the inhale over 4, and we're going to gradually extend the exhale. So we will do, to begin with, exhaling over 4. I'll count you in, letting the air drop in over 4, exhaling over 5, letting the air drop in over 4, exhaling over 6, and we'll go up to 8 with the exhale and keeping the inhale over 4, keeping the inhale super soft and gentle coming from the belly. So after 2, 4 and 4, 1, 2. She, 2, 3, 4. Release. 2, 3, 4. Exhale 5. She, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. 2, 3, 4. Over 6. She, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release from the belly. 2, 3, 4. Over 7. She, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Release from the belly. 2, 3, 4. And over 8. She, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. 2, 3, before. And I'd be really interested to hear how you got on with that. It's very odd doing these exercises and I can't actually see you or how you're getting on or anything. But hopefully soon we'll be back together in some shape or form. More on that later. So a slightly different version to go with our gardens theme of pie and chips. So this is an exercise where we gradually extend the length of the phrase that we sing. And what we're going to do is, I've got roses growing in my garden today. So let's do that. And 1, 2. I've got roses growing in my garden today. And again. And I've got roses growing in my garden today. And I'm sure you've guessed what we're going to do. We're gradually going to add in things that we've got growing in our garden. So we're going to add in and rhubarb. So we go, I've got roses and rhubarb growing in my garden today. I'm going to write down in the chat what we're going to add in so you have it in front of you so you can concentrate on the breathing rather than worrying what we're going to add in. So it's, I've got roses growing in my garden today. And then we add in and rhubarb. And then we add in and broad beans. And then we add in and beetroot. And then to finish with the flower, we add in and honeysuckle. What have I got to? There we go. Hopefully you can see that. Let's give it a go. I will do my best to tell you what we're adding in next each time. And the most important thing, rather than remembering the words, is as you exhale, feeling the belly going really gently towards the belly. And when you've got to the end of the phrase, releasing from the belly, not from up here. Let's check our shoulders are nicely back, shoulders to ears, back with a yawn. I've got roses growing in my garden today. 1, 2. I've got roses growing in my garden today and rhubarb. I've got roses and rhubarb growing in my garden today and broad beans. I've got roses and rhubarb and broad beans growing in my garden today and beetroot. I've got roses and rhubarb and broad beans and beetroot growing in my garden today. Release from the belly and honeysuckle. I've got roses and rhubarb and broad beans and beetroot and honeysuckle growing in my garden today. Release from the belly. Lovely. We'll come back to that one next week. Just a little bit of a variation on that old favourite that we've been doing for so long. Pie and chips. So a bit of a voice warm up. We're going to do a sort of hoeing. We're going to get a bit of a rhythm going as if we're hoeing. And you might want to do a bit of a hoeing movement. Can you see me? I'm just going to, oh no, I'm back in focus now. So imagine you've got your hoe and you might want to step forward and then back with your hoe. So I'm moving my arms like that with the hoe. So I'll just do, oh, going out of focus, come back. It's because I'm moving, it's not coping. Okay, you might just have to cope with me being a bit blurry for a while. Hello. We'll see. Hopefully you can hear me fine. So I'll just sing a wee phrase, make some noises, and you copy. Ooh, your turn. Ooh, ooh, ooh. yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Baba, ooh, baba, ooh, baba, ooh, baba, ooh. Meow, 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 meow. Ooh, ooh, Nina, 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 Nina. Gooey, 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 sorry, gooey, gooey, gooey. Hello, 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 hello. Ooh, your dad. Ooh. Okay, let's move on to a song. My roots go down. So we started doing this last week and it seems to fit really well with our theme, so I thought we'd look at it with the verses as well as just the chorus. It's a very simple little song. So the chorus is just my roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. And I've put the second down into the earth in brackets because if we leave that out, we've got more time to really release from the belly and take a good breath. And then we've got the verses which follow the same pattern. Let's see if it'll let me put them all in at once. Nope, slightly too many. Okay, let's take out the last one. And let's get the last one. Okay, so the tune. So this is by somebody called Sarah Purtle, and I heard it sung first of all by a woman called Annie Patterson, who's quite a well-known singer in the States. So, and you might want to imagine your roots going out your feet again as we sing this song and really feel that connection that we often think of ourselves as being separate from the earth, but we're not actually. We're just one of the many living creatures living on this earth. My roots go down. Your turn. My roots go down, down into the earth, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. I'll do those two phrases again. My roots go down, down into the earth. And then you do it call and response. First bit. My roots go down, down into the earth. Your turn. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. First one again. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. And then the last bit. my roots go down. My roots go down. I'll do that all call and response again, so you sing after me. My roots go down, down into the earth. 1, 2. My roots go down, down into the earth. 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 My roots go down. My roots go down. I'm going to do it in slightly longer phrases, and I'm going to miss out the second down into the earth. And during the time that it takes to sing that, release from the belly and let the air in without it getting tight up here. So I'm going to sing the first bit. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. Your turn. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. And then we have exactly the same again, I think. Let me do the second half. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. That ending one is slightly different, isn't it? So let's do that all together, breathing just one breath in the middle. 1, 2. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. It is exactly the same. I'm used to singing it with that third tag on, so it sounds different. It's exactly the same. Let's do that once more. Feel that connection with the earth. Feel the length of the body growing up and the roots going down. 1, 2. My roots grow down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. And then we have the verses, the same tune. I am a willow bending in the wind. 1, 2. I am a willow bending in the wind. 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 My roots go down. I am a willow bending in the wind. My roots go down. And then when she goes back to the chorus, she starts a bit higher. My roots go down, down into the earth. Let's try that. My roots go down, down into the earth. And then back to how we sang it before. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. And then I am a waterfall skipping home. I'll do it first. I am a waterfall skipping home. I am a waterfall. Do, do, do. Let's do that bit. 1, 2. I am a waterfall skipping home. I am a waterfall. And then again. I am a waterfall skipping home, my roots go down. Third one, I am an acorn waiting to be born. Let's do it. 1, 2. I am an acorn waiting to be born. I am an acorn. I am an acorn waiting to be born. My roots go down. And then I am an oak tree waiting to be born. Have I got this right? I'm questioning my... we'll hear when we hear Annie singing it whether my acorn is right. We will see. We'll adjust it if not. So I am an oak tree waiting to be born. 1, 2. I am an oak tree waiting to be born. I am an oak tree. I am an oak tree waiting to be born. My roots go down. So in the verses, on the second line, we miss off the second half again, just so we've got time to do that lovely relaxed inhale. So let us sing it along with Annie Patterson, and we will see if that third verse is right. If not, we'll adjust accordingly. Go down, down into the earth, my roots go down, release. My roots go down, down into the earth, my roots go down. I am a willow. All for chorus again first. Down into the earth, my roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth, my roots go down. I'm a willow now. I am a willow bending in the wind. I am a willow. I am a willow bending in the wind. My roots go down, chorus. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I'm a waterfall. I am a waterfall skipping home. I am a waterfall. I am a waterfall skipping home. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I am an acorn waiting to be born. I am an acorn waiting to be born. I am an acorn waiting to be born. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. I am an oak tree, tall and bold. Oak tree, tall and bold. I am an oak tree, tall and bold. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down into the earth. My roots go down. Lovely. So it was the oak tree one that I had wrong. I am an oak tree, tall and bold. We'll get that right next time. Okay, so moving on to our tongue twister. The proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot. Let me bring the words up for you. All I want is a proper cup of coffee. Let's say that together. And all I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. Made in a proper copper coffee pot. Tea is never enough for me. Tea is never enough for me, as I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. As I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. Get those puhs going. I'm going to go a bit faster speaking, call and response. All I want is a proper cup of coffee. All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. Made in a proper copper coffee pot. Tea is never enough for me. Tea is never enough for me, as I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. As I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. Well done if you're managing it. We're going to say it slightly faster before we sing it. So you go after me again. All I want is a proper cup of coffee. All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. Made in a proper copper coffee pot. Tea is never enough for me. Tea is never enough for me, as I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. As I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. Well done. So tune. All I want is a proper cup of coffee. 1, 2. All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. Made in a proper copper coffee pot. Tea is never enough for me. Tea is never enough for me, as I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. As I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. Let's do it all the way through together. 1, 2. All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. Tea is never enough for me, as I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. And again. And all I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. Tea is never enough for me, as I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. Super fast. And all I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. Tea is never enough for me, as I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. So we're just breathing. How are we doing it? Let me just check in. All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. We're having a breath there, then we're going all the way through. So let's go again. 1, 2. All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. Tea is never enough for me, as I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. One more. All I want is a proper cup of coffee, made in a proper copper coffee pot. Tea is never enough for me, as I want a cup of coffee from a proper copper pot. Woo! Well done. If you managed to do that, you can challenge your family or friends to a proper cup of coffee tongue twister. Have a wee drink, let your breathing return back to normal. So we're going to move on to red apple. And I'll bring the words up for you again, not many words. We've had the first apples off our tree already, and it feels surprisingly autumnal. So we'll do the tune to start with, and then we'll look at the lower harmony, and then we'll put them together. As I walked under the apple tree. 1, 2. As I walked under the apple tree, I looked up and what did I see? I looked up and what did I see? It wasn't a blossom, it wasn't a bee. It wasn't a blossom, it wasn't a bee. It was a juicy red apple waiting for me. It was a juicy red apple waiting for me. Sorry, something just popped up on my computer that was distracting me. So I'm going to do that again. In fact, I'll do 2 phrases together, which is how we're going to breathe it. So a little bit faster. As I walked under the apple tree, I looked up and what did I see? 1, 2. As I walked under the apple tree, I looked up and what did I see? It wasn't a blossom, it wasn't a bee, it was a juicy red apple waiting for me. It wasn't a blossom, it wasn't a bee, it was a juicy red apple waiting for me. All together, 1, 2. As I walked under the apple tree, I looked up and what did I see? It wasn't a blossom, it wasn't a bee, it was a juicy red apple waiting for me. And again. As I walked under the apple tree, I looked up and what did I see? It wasn't a blossom, it wasn't a bee, it was a juicy red apple waiting for me. Lovely. And in the bits where we pause, just remembering to release from the belly and take the time to let the air in. So let's do it once more, just checking in with here, making sure this isn't getting tight and that the belly is leading with that lovely round belly. So let's go once more, slightly faster. 1, 2. As I walked under the apple tree, I looked up and what did I see? Release. It wasn't a blossom, it wasn't a bee, it was a juicy red apple waiting for me. And release. And then the lower part, which comes in just after the beat, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. And then the next bit, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. I'm going to put those 2 bits together. So I'm going to count you in. I'll do it first and then I'll count you in again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. We're doing that in one breath. So try not to take a breath in that little gap where we clap. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. One more for luck. 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. And then the first bit is the same again. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. And then we have ba da ba da ba da ba. Ba da ba da ba da ba. So the whole of the second half is 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. Ba da ba da ba da ba. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. Ba da ba da ba da ba. Whole thing. Let's see if we can put it together. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. 1, 2. Ba 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 da ba. Ba da ba da ba da ba. 1, 2. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. 1, 2. Ba 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 da ba. Ba da ba da ba da ba. Lovely. So we're going to sing it through with the track. The first time we will sing with the tune. As I walked under the apple tree, I looked up and what did I see? It wasn't a blossom, it wasn't a bee, it was a juicy red apple waiting for me. The ba-ba-ba part comes in first, so we'll listen to that the first time round and then we'll come in with the tune. And then we'll do it all again and we will sing with the lower part. Just bringing the track up for you. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. Ba da ba da ba da ba. As I walked under the apple tree, I looked up and what did I see? It wasn't a blossom, it wasn't a bee, it was a juicy red apple waiting for me. As I walked under the apple tree, I looked up and what did I see? It wasn't a blossom, it wasn't a bee, it was a juicy red apple waiting for me. Okie doke, we're going to do that again and we're going to do the ba. So are you ready? Oh. What has happened? Here we go. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. Ba da ba da ba da ba. As I ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. It was a ba 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 da ba. Ba da ba da ba da ba. As I ba 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 da ba. Ba 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 da ba. It was a ba 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 da ba. Ba da ba da ba da ba. Let's just do that once more on the lower part. just to make sure we've got it. Yep, it's gone on to the next track. Come back, here we go. Ba 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 da ba, ba 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 da ba, ba 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 da ba, ba da ba da ba da ba. As I ba 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 da ba, ba 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 da ba. It was a ba 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 da ba, ba da ba da ba da ba. As I walked ba 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 da ba, ba 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 da ba. It wasn't ba 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 da ba, ba da ba da ba da ba. Lovely. Let's leave that there for now. And we're going on to The Garden Song by David Mallet. Inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. And I've changed the words on my sheet here to the ones that he sings. So the chorus to start with. There's quite a few words, so bear with me. Have a wee drink while I'm just putting these in. Maybe give your face a bit of nice massage or something, or your neck. And we've got the first verse coming. This is the one that's got the funny spaces in it, which is very annoying. Let me just put the next bit in manually. There we go. Getting there. There we go. Do, do, do. Inch by inch and row by row. 1, 2. Inch by inch and row by row. Gonna make this garden grow. Gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. I think we usually started it a little lower actually. Do, 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 do. Inch by inch and row by row. 1, 2. Inch by inch and row by row. Gonna make this garden grow. Gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rains come tumbling down. Someone warm them from below till the rains come tumbling down. Lovely. So we have 2 short phrases and then 1 longer one in the chorus. So we have inch by inch and row by row. Come release that lovely round belly. Give it a bit of a rub. Gonna make this garden grow. Release the belly. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Maybe you be my breathing machine. This is something that we do sometimes when we're in the session. We've not done it so much online. But you just kind of go through it, breathing it with your hand. Releasing from the belly. So you're not actually singing it this time round. So you're releasing from the belly. So you're breathing it, but not actually singing it as I sing it. Just so you get the pattern into your head. Inch and inch by inch and row by row. Gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rains come tumbling down. And then sing with me. A 1, 2. Inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rains come tumbling down. Lovely. Let's have a sing through because the tune is the same in the verses as it is here. I was in 2 minds, but I've got a lower part here. We'll maybe bring that in next week. Yeah, so we've got a bit more time to work on that. So I'm going to bring up David Mallet singing this, and we're going to sing along to him again like we did last week. Okay, so checking in with your posture, checking in with your feet on the floor, bit of a yawn, checking in with your shoulders, just replacing them back, checking in with the imaginary cord coming at the crown of your head and engaging these muscles here, so the panting puppy, to really power through. So let's go.
Song I wrote a long time ago, and it's been recorded by lots of people. Some of them were my heroes, like Pete Seeger for one, and also the Muppets. It's called The Garden Song.
So we're going to have a little bit of a pause, and we're going to spend a little bit of time also remembering Maggie Eberst, who those of you in the Musselburgh group or who've been to any of the Zoom sessions will know Maggie. Maggie sadly passed away at the end of June. I put the details in an email. And yeah, she was a lovely soul, very bright and cheery and very funny. She often had some little quirky, funny thing to share. I'm just going to bring up a picture of her If this works, hopefully you can see that there. So there's Maggie. In 2017, I think it says on this picture. These were the photos that John Davey took for the Warblers publicity some years ago. And we were just about to ask John to come and take some more photos when lockdown struck. So hopefully before long we can go ahead with that. So that's Maggie. And I've got a jar and a candle here, and certainly in the Zoom session tomorrow we're going to light our candles, but I thought I'd light mine here as well, so you can all join in with just a few moments of shining a light for Maggie and thinking of Maggie. And remembering any memories you have of Maggie. Some of you won't have met her. Some of you will remember her very clearly. Yeah. And the next song we're going to sing, the folks in the Zoom session chose this one to sing in Maggie's memory. It's I'd like to teach the world to sing. I'd like to teach the world to sing, yeah. So we'll come on to that shortly. Couple of other things before then. If you've not responded to the questions in the questionnaire I sent out, please do so as soon as possible. You can respond in the chat here. And I gave 5 possible options about online, in-person, recorded sessions, or a mixture of both. And I'm asking everybody to tell me which number which number suits you best. I've just put the first 3 in the chat. I'll put the last 2 in. So if you've not responded to that yet, if you can just put your name and the number that corresponds best to where you think you're at, and we're aware that we'll all be at different places as lockdown restrictions ease, and obviously things may change, but right now it is legal for singing groups to meet up indoors again, providing we follow a rigorous risk assessment, we keep our distance from each other, we make sure the room is well ventilated, and we don't sing for too long. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking to see if it's also possible to Zoom the sessions at the same time, so that those people, and we know there are some people who feel more comfortable Zooming at the moment rather than singing in person. And we're also looking at whether it would be possible, well, if we've got a Zoom recording, then we should be able to send that round by email, so those people who want to join in at a later time have still got the opportunity to do that. So please do let me know. And we're moving towards having a session in each area, so a session in Musselburgh and a session in Midlothian. That will be just to, initially, it will be just to have a conversation about what people feel they need to feel comfortable coming back to meeting in person again. And we've got a date for the meeting in Musselburgh, which is going to be on Monday, the 6th of September at 3:00. And that's going to be in the big hall at Musselburgh East Community Association. So the same building that we've met in before lockdown, but in a much bigger room. And we'll keep our 2-metre distancing. And I'll send around more information once the committee have agreed a risk assessment and risk mitigation procedures. And in Midlothian, we're still trying to find a room. So I'll get back to you. I'm waiting to hear about Dalkeith Welfare Hall. So I'll get back to you as soon as I've got something confirmed. The other option is St King's and St John's Church on a Monday. But I'll let you know as soon as we've got that. And I sent round information today about the Warblers AGM, which you're all welcome to attend. It's going to be on Zoom on Monday, the 30th of August at 11:00. So please do come along. It's just a bit of a chance to celebrate really what we've been up to over this last year. So let's go back to singing again. I'd like to teach the world to sing. Here we are. Just putting the words in the chat here. The bits in brackets are the kind of harmony part that comes in. And we're singing this song particularly today for Maggie and in Maggie's memory, and I've got my candle burning here for Maggie. So I'd like to build. Let's call and response. I'd like to build the world a home. 1, 2. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love, and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. And that first one goes down. That often catches us out. I'll do all of those again, call and response. I'd like to build the world a home. 1, 2. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love, and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. So that bit goes back up at the end. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. Yeah? Should we see if we've got all the way up to there? I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. So the first one goes down. Snow white turtle doves. And then we've got keep it company. And if you don't remember, just smile and enjoy where your voice is taking you. 1, 2. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Long phrase. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow white turtle doves. Lovely. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. Lovely. Should we do that once more up to there? I'm going to stand. I'd 1, 2. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow-white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. Lovely. I'd like to see the world for once. 1, 2. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. And hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. I'd like to teach the world to sing. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony, in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. Going up at the end again. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. Lovely. Should we sing it all the way through? So we've got that long phrase. Every third phrase, I think it is the long one. So checking in, you bit of a yawn. Check your knees are soft, shoulders back. I'd 1, 2. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honey bees and snow-white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. Lovely. And I'm going to just remind you of the harmony part that we've done here, which starts with an oo, and as begin with it goes ooh. Let's go. Ooh. And then you ooh the same bit as the tune. Ooh. Let's do that. Ooh. And then you go ooh. Ooh. I'm going to do the whole of that phrase. Ooh. Ooh. Lovely. And then we go on to our long oohs again for a little bit. Ooh, sing with me. Ooh, sing with me. Perfect harmony. going to do the whole of that bit. Ooh, sing with me, perfect harmony. Ooh, your turn. Ooh, sing with me, perfect harmony. Ooh, and let's go again. Ooh, sing with me, perfect harmony. Ooh. Let's see if we can do it all up to there with those two phrases. So 1, 2. Ooh, then with the tune. Ooh, ooh, sing with me, perfect harmony. Ooh, and then the first bit exactly the same again to start with. So the long oohs and then with the tune. Ooh, ooh. And then you have, that's the song I hear, that the world sings today. That's the song. That's the song I hear, that the world sings today. Let's do from that. That's the song I hear. 1, 2, 1. That's the song I hear, that the world sings today. And then we have a few bars rest, and then we've just got our little tag at the end again. Ooh. So when we go, I'd like to see the world for once. Let's go on that bit. I'll do the accompanying part right to the end, and then I'll do it with you, so you can just listen to start with. So ooh, that's the song I hear, that the world sings today. Ooh, let's go together. Ooh, a 1, 2. Ooh, ooh, that's the song I hear, that the world sings today. A 1, 2, 2, 2. Ooh. So we're going to sing it with the track. First of all, we will sing the tune, and then we'll have a go at singing the ooh part. Don't worry if you've not quite got it. I'd like to build the world a home, furnish it with love, grow apple trees and honey bees and snow-white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, so standing hand in hand, and hear an echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honeybees and snow-white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my hands and keep it company. Sorry, the words changed slightly at the end. So let us go again and see if we can do the ooh part. Ooh. I'd like to build the world a home and trees and snow-white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing with me, perfect harmony. I'd like to see the world for once, so standing hand in hand. That's a song I hear that the world sings today. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. And again. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honeybees and snow-white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing with me, perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, so standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. That's a song I hear that the world sings today. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. Lovely, well done, whatever you managed. And I'm sure Maggie would be delighted that we were singing that song for her and thinking of her while we're singing it. So let's just spend a few moments just cooling down, relaxing, coming back into our bodies. Letting our breathing just return to normal. And just bringing our attention to all of the sensations present in the body right now. With a sense of allowing and acceptance. So just noticing all of the activity going on in the body. Maybe sensations of warmth or cold. Sensations connected with breathing. Sensations connected with contact. And just seeing if we can Bring a bit of gratitude to our body for all it does to us. And I've got a poem I'm going to read to you called Throw the Doors Wide Open by Jane O'Shea. Throw the doors wide open and step into the enormous palace inside of you. Breathe. Breathe into every space. Feel every sensation. The joyful warmth of shared love and the vast emptiness that sometimes echoes around our hearts. The excited clarity of inspired thought, as well as that clustered maze inside our heads. That deep spread of satisfaction at the end of a good day, and the tight knots that curl into the pit of our belly. Breathe, it's your body. This is the field of your experience. This is your true home. This is where you belong. So just becoming aware of the whole body breathing in your true home where you belong. And that's it for today. Thank you for coming, and I look forward to seeing you either tomorrow or next week.